Good morning, beautiful. How was your night? Mine was wonderful with you by my side. And when I open my eyes and see your sweet face, it's a good morning, beautiful day. I couldn't see the light. I didn't know day from night. I had no reason to care. But since you came along,
No, baby, you're good as
I can face the dawn. 'Cause I know you'll be there. Good morning, beautiful. How was your night? Mine was wonderful with you by my side. And when I open my eyes, see your sweet face. It's a good morning, beautiful day.
I heard this song. There is a reference that keeps coming up of a divine masculine that wants to spend time. I want to wake up where you are. Who is that? There's another one with his divine feminine. He says, I want to spend the night with you, but I don't want to be apart from you. So there's something about spending days and nights together. I want to wake up. Oh, is it? Is that Slide? I think it might be Goo Goo Dolls. We'll see if this is what I was hearing. I'm pretty sure it is. I'll be able to tell you when I hear it. Sounds like the Goo Goo Dolls now that I think about it. We shall see. It is. I want to wake up where you are.
Could you whisper in my ear the things you want to feel? I'll give you anything to feel it coming. Do you wake up alone? I wonder where you are. With all your thoughts, I want to wake up where you are. I won't say anything at all. So I don't slide. Don't you love the life we share? The priest is on the phone. The father hit the wall. Your mother showed you. Don't suppose I'll ever know. So needs to be a man. So things change. I live around here. I wanna wake up where you are. I won't say anything at all. So why don't you slide? Do anything you ever do. Be complete. Little pieces go to nothing. The put your arms around me. What you feel is what you are.
Okay. Oh, he says, you're beautiful. He also says, you want to get married. I want to wake up where you are. This is a divine masculine who wants commitment. I want to get married and run away. Yeah.
What you feel is what you are.
What you are is beautiful. I heard that too. Here, say something. I'm giving up on you. Also, say something. Who is that? A Great Big World, I think. I'm giving up on you. Something like that. Cheers. Alright, so we're going to do a little love reading. I mentioned last night. Tell your story. Legacy, write your wisdom. Okay, so this is about, for some, it's whistleblowing. For others, it's just about being who you are authentically. Saw that number on the count. You're calling in your vibe tribe. So divine masculine and feminine. Come on. Drawing each other in. Here, I don't want anybody else but you. Nobody can replace you, right? He says he'd rather be alone than in the company of the wrong people. He understands why divine feminine's like that too. Not that loneliness is preferable, but again, there's nothing worse than feeling alone in a room full of people. Those just aren't your people. And so when you feel more content in your own space than you do around those types of people, those just aren't your people. So 2 things. Both of them know that this connection is... What are you doing? You cut that right out. Leave my animals alone. Which, I know what you're doing too. It's usually, I would say that it's the 2 of them missing each other, aching for each other, and that can be, but also more so, yeah, I don't feel like it's that this time. There is more grounding between them. This is these karmic energies. They feel like they've lost whatever battle that they were trying to pick. They cannot conquer the light workers that they chose to target. 8, yeah, and they're facing karma for trying to pick a fight with a fae, for example. Especially top dog, Tuatha. The rarity. Tuatha. My red hair. That's why when I go out into the sunlight, my hair turns much lighter. You can see the red auburn pigment coming out of it. If it's not, it looks dark. Some people think it's black. It's not. It's very dark brown. It's red brown. There's blue based and there's red based. It's not about the color, it's about the tone, the undertone. Somebody says, what is the difference? Well, color is its own separate thing. But both can be brown. But if one is a blue based brown, then it's darker. Blue based is more like a black. If it's red, there's not blue in it. It's just a red undertone, which is why it's more of like a reddish brown, or it has a red kind of glow to it when it hits the light. I have photos of me where I'm standing in the sunlight, but half of my hair is in the shadow, and half of it does look black, but half of it looks bright red. Because the red in the sunlight popped in the coloring, and then for whatever reason, the darker color of the brown, when the sunlight hits it, got washed out more. But when it was in the shadow, you couldn't see any of that red, so it looked more black. People, for example, with black hair, when they go gray, typically they go gray in layers, like they go different shades of gray. People that have red hair, they don't turn gray because there's nothing to turn gray. There's none of that darker blue or the blackened, but it's blue-based pigment to fade out and slowly, gradually shift out of colors of gray. Somebody says, okay, if they don't turn gray, what do they turn? They go straight to white. That's why if you see somebody that has bright red hair and they start going gray in the beard. It's not white. They get little, it's not gray, it's white. They get white hairs that pop out. They don't have any gray because what the gray is like fading blue, black pigment. It's that blue base color spectrum. This popped out and hit the floor again. So there's an emphasis. Somebody says, what would that, it's usually Irish coloring, heritage, flecks of it even. That's why sometimes you'll see people with little bits, men especially with little bits of, typically, specifically in this situation, men with, like, even if they've got brown hair or blonde hair, their beards can come in red, or like strawberry blondish color, or at least with a red hue if it's darker. It's because for some reason, if nowhere else in their body that the Irish comes out, it's their beard. I don't know why. Dominant genes. As we're talking about what? Color hair? Right. And this, again, Did you notice how after I said you leave my animals alone, which the cats chilled out? It's because they were sending spells at the animals. Jealous. I heard that. One of these karmics thinks, these are my familiars. No, I don't do spells or anything with them. I just love them. They're my children. Like my children. They're my children. Human versions of them. Find your own safe space inside and out. Right. It's why I will not mistreat them, nor will I tolerate other people mistreating animals, period. I will call and have repeatedly Wildlife Protection Services if I notice wild animals in distress, or they're injured or need help. I don't care who you are. These people just showed how demonic they are. Child of the moon. Yeah, I forgive you for being a clown, but all your secrets got exposed. Transcending the ego. And I had dream prophecy this morning. My Nana came through and said these karmics, especially those who tried to mess in her energy and cause conflict for myself and my family, they're going to get it for being these nasty little trolls, these dark little trolls, mad at the Fae, right? Mad at the light workers. And all their little gang stalking flying monkeys too. They're all in trouble together now. Mentor, leader, teacher, guidance, teacher of the old ways, right? Playing in things they knew not the first thing about and shouldn't have been touching. Yep. And I also have been picking up that they're upset that their tactics didn't work, that they tried to use slander and, yeah, mistreatment tactics, gaslighting, narcissistic tactics to isolate and flip the script on a victim, but they could not isolate us the way they wanted. In fact, a lot of them have done this to themselves now because people see what they've done. People see how immature that they are, how stubborn and evil they were when they were wrong. Just looked bullheaded. Touch, exchange, connection, intuition. And didn't I say that? Good morning, beautiful. How was your night? Mine was wonderful with you by my side. He said, I want to wake up where you are. I want to get married and run away. Well, there he is, coming through. Okay, gatekeeper. So it's like he knows, it's like showing up at Divine Feminine's door, knocking on the door, right? He knows she's had to put armor on. It's very heavy. It's kind of cold. She's had to be very calculating and cold to survive, although people didn't have to put her in the position to do that. They could have just left her alone in her little fairy garden instead of trying to usurp her crown and throne. Manifestation, expectations, offerings. And so I'm picking up that this is a divine masculine who's, ooh, I just split the deck. A divine masculine who's coming through to get what he wants, which is divine feminine. Split the deck. Ooh, because he sees her for who she is and also has been able to see himself. This is also another indigo child or starseed. Look. And I hear tiny dancer. He wants to protect and nurture his divine feminine. I hear he says, you're so pretty. He says, you are like a little fairy. I don't want to keep you in a jar. I just want to keep you safe. He says, the rib protects the heart. Keep ribs. Yeah, use your discernment, confide in a trusted friend. And I do feel like these are this is a couple that ends up being each other's best friend. It's the power couple. Teamwork makes the dream work. Yeah. They're sensing out the right time. Scared to fly. So it's like either her not wanting to be harmed by the same cycles or types of people of the past, or him not wanting to, I hear he says he doesn't want to bum rush her or spook her. But that's the thing, is she knows he wants to come talk. She's just waiting for him to do it. My ear's ringing. He says, I love you. I know you can hear me. I love you. Okay. Okay. Take time out. Oh, my booty's falling out of this dress. Hanging out, brother. You're so sweet to me. You pull my dress down with my ass out. Love me this by my big mouth. Jesse Reyes, home. Go after your goals. Persist. Encourage and advance. So he's moving forward despite anybody who had something to say about it or wanted to keep them apart. You see family connections, respect people, kinship. And so he's wanting also to build a family with her. If you wanted to, I'd start a family with you. Get into nature, coexist, gather, limit waste. Yeah, just got a flash of the charity water. Charity project again. Re-energize your life, clear, positive space and harmony. Oh, you know what? Just talked about the Irish. Okay. I remember being foolish when I met your mother, because she had that Irish charm. Right then I knew I'd love her. And if you wanted to, I'd start a family with you. Hi. What's up? You're cute. What do you mean I'm cute? Love you. Excuse me. Ancestral team meeting. Speaking of, focus on children, pregnancy, birth, adoption. My grandmother just came through. She said, you're so cute. What do you mean? You are. But she used to take care of me when I was a baby too. Have courage, strength, fearlessness, warrior, tune in and connect, right? Nonverbal communication, it's like telepathy, intuition, messages. And did I not just say that? One about divine masculine, but then also the ancestral communication. Yeah. Ooh, this just got wet. Solved. Fine. Honor the deities around you. Look, they're washing this energy clean, though. Standing. Even if these people thought that the light workers were alone, there were either people rooting for them behind the scenes or trying to come through and pull strings from behind the scenes, even bringing themselves out from behind the scenes to do so. Enjoy music. Yeah, answer the call. See, this is a power couple. There's communication coming between them, or there will be. The other thing is that there's ancestral. I was looking over my shoulder because she came up here on the side. Behind me, but to the side. Okay. Are we good? Let's do this one. Thank you. This is a hero deck. Me time. Take time away and me time. It's taking quiet time away from the noise and the nonsense. One with the sun. I'm actually getting ready to go outside in a little bit. Speaking of, get some vitamin D and sit with the holy realm for a little bit. Maybe do a bit of yoga. Definitely meditate for a while. Quest. Plunge boldly into life. It's about seeking that stillness, either to gain awareness about the next steps or to gain focus and balance and strength. Where you are is where it's at. There it is. Told you, stay still until you're divinely moved. So I'm going to go put another load of laundry in. I'm going to go take care of a couple of little things and then head outside for a bit until the sun shifts enough for me to fix a bit of photography that I was working on. Become altered by the color of your dream. Speaking of, just to make sure that the color is properly captured, the vibrancy of it. Own your mastery. And knowing this, being able to situate this is just, it comes with experience and practice. Build in breaks, saunter slowly, like I said. Go switch some laundry, take care of a couple little things, head outside for some self-care. What would your higher self do? Your divinity in blue jeans, right? We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Look, told you. 10,000 angels. Lean on your circle of supernatural support. And these karmic people thought that they could call on this or call on that, but they have none. That divine realm does not answer to them. X marks the spot. That is so funny. Because I do have an X marks the spot on my nails. Hold on. Let's do this. X marks the spot. Not to make you guys seasick, no pun intended. But I haven't used this in years. This deck has been sitting there for a few years. I have a lot of them, and some of them don't get rotated as much. And so the only reason I pulled this one out was because I think the cat knocked it off. It found it on the floor. So I knew there was a message in it. Picked it up last night, stuck it here waiting to do this reading. And I forgot that that was a card in there. Make the grade with flying colors. Remember, you signed up for this. So there's a message of having some kind of destiny to fulfill, some kind of challenge that we were sent here to do. Like for me, years ago, long before there were any civil issues or any kind of legal issues at all, period, in court, before there were children being held hostage, before there were lawyers and government officials involved, God said part of your purpose is to help children in the legal system. And I thought it was ridiculous because I knew I didn't want to be a lawyer. So I couldn't understand what they were talking about. And I knew I didn't want to be a veterinarian or anything like that. Also, when I was 5 years old, anything that required poking people or animals with needles wasn't my cup of tea. Blood and guts, not my cup of tea. And being a lawyer, I loved Law and Order growing up. It was one of my favorite shows, actually. But I knew when I was 5 years old I didn't want to be a lawyer. And I had people my whole life tell me I should be a lawyer, and I didn't understand why. It's because I'm good at telling people where they went wrong. Holding them accountable with the facts. I get it now. Heard that. Divine Masculine's like, yeah, it kind of is a lawyer's job, isn't it? Indeed. And I had to tell a few dirty lawyers, crooked lawyers, about themselves too, to boot. He says, I bet you did. I've got all the transcripts. You can go through them if you want. I'm sure you'll find some entertainment. I'm sure a lot of it will upset you. I'm sure some of it you find funny. You know why? Because so do I. But it's not very funny for people to be terrorizing others and trying to disrupt their lives. I did make a joke out of them and made the butt of it, though. Moving on. 28-22. You're invited. Look, suit up, Divine Masculine, as I'm just saying, hey, here's your green light. Here's your invitation. Suit up, show up, and open up. How much good can you handle? Explore the upward spiral of grace. North Star. Flip your inner light switch. Right, they flip the right side of each other's. I hear Gemini switch. They flip the holy water side. Right, there's no place like home, nestled into sweetness. The magic zone, exhilaration of discombobulation. So it's just about going with that spontaneous flow between them. Dance with the universe. Trip the light, fantastic. That higher note, the high frequency between each other. And they do light each other up. But as far as this Divine Masculine goes, and the Divine Feminine, there's certainly unions coming through. Be reborn daily. Yep. Healing and resurrection. But it was about a decade ago. God said, part of your purpose is to help children in the legal system. And I thought, I'm not going to be a lawyer. And I'm not going to be a lawyer. I have no intention of being a lawyer. Nor did I want to have to generate the wealth of knowledge on how to hold my own against any lawyer, let alone a crooked lawyer that I have. Would it be easier for a trained, qualified lawyer with no attachment or trigger to a case? Absolutely. Preferably with no conflict of interest. But have I learned to do it? Also, yes, unfortunately, for them. But then all of a sudden, people started causing problems. Children were being harmed. I had to start speaking up about it. They started trying to cause harm to me for speaking up about it instead of just letting them be abusive and getting away with it. They had family in the system, from sheriffs to hiring their own family members to be their attorneys, to bury evidence like their criminal records of prior abuse, convictions, their jail records for the same crimes that they claim they're not committing, because they claim they never committed them, even though their criminal records verify that yes, they did, repeatedly. It's never been he said, she said, she said, she said, he said, he said, whatever. It's never been that. They try to make it seem like that so that their opinion that they're screaming the loudest as they're trying to slander the truth teller is heard or accepted over the real truth. But that's not actually the truth. If somebody has to bury the facts to get their opinion to be taken as credible, it's not credible. If the truth shows that your opinion is garbage, it's not a credible opinion. Because the court isn't supposed to take opinions, it's supposed to go by facts. You see? But when things like that started, and they started making a joke of the courtroom, it's called a kangaroo court when they do that, just making up rules as they go, instead of actually abiding by the law. Doing favors for criminals, letting criminals hire their own family judges and lawyers to represent them so that they can keep themselves safe from being in trouble for the crimes that they're committing at the expense of innocent victims who are having trouble getting help as a result or getting protection as a result. When all of that started to happen, then I did have to step up and speak up. Then I did have to stand up like a lawyer and document the truth and speak on the truth and advocate for myself, but also others, namely others. And all of a sudden, even though I thought, I don't want to be a lawyer, what the Holy Team said about a decade ago made a lot more sense, didn't it? You know what they also said? Just a side note. I remember I was doing head housekeeping at this time and moonlighting. I would get out of there, go to the restaurant, do my baking stuff, and then I would get home and I would moonlight my psychic business, right? So I worked 3 jobs while being single parent and taking care of my daughter. And I remember I was in room 101 and I got a download about like a resurrection energy. And then I went to room 202, 201 and 202. It was the second floor, first and second room. I was getting ready to wipe down the bathroom after spraying it. Photographically, I can remember this. I had sprayed the sink and the shower, and I was getting ready to wipe them for the next group of guests. And I was praying at the same time. This is why I can distinctly remember this also. And I asked Archangel Michael, what do I need to do if I need to protect my daughter to do so? What do I know if I need to get sole custody of her to keep her safe and protect her? What do I need to do to have proper protections in place? What do I need to do to help her? And Mike said, Kundalini Reiki, Fiduciary Responsibilities, neither of which I had heard of, and what was it? Sujolite. None of those I had heard of, actually. So I finished up with this room, 202, and I went downstairs and clocked out and I took a break. And I Googled fiduciary duties and responsibilities, and what I found was my favorite Stimmel Law article on fiduciary law that I still post. For the cats with the zoomies. And then Kundalini Reiki. Turns out it's a real thing. I'm actually a master in that, as well as a number of other things now. And then after work, I went down to the crystal shop Tony's crystal shop, actually, and he wasn't there at that particular shop that day, but his sister was. And I asked her, I said, I know this is going to sound crazy, theoretically. Tony knew who I was. It wasn't a big deal, but I'm a medium, and I heard this while I was working, and it sounds like a crystal to me. I think it's a crystal. Do you have any crystals that are named this? And she cracked open one of her big crystal encyclopedias, and in fact, it is a crystal. And she had to source it from another place, but I do actually have some here. It's right there, actually. Usually. It also connects to Archangel Zadkiel, but yes, Michael too. And I'm jumping a little bit ahead in the story. Because I've been so busy working multiple jobs, I hadn't had time to open up one of the new decks that I had gotten that week. And I was waiting till the weekend, and I was off the other jobs to do it. I hadn't even taken the cellophane off of it. It came in the mail, and I was still wrapped. But it was a crystal angel deck. And so I ended up getting back home from work, back home from the crystal shop. And the weekend rolls around. I open up this new deck, and I shuffle it, and I bless it, and I clear it. And the first card that pops out is Sujolite. And I don't normally go through the booklets that come with cards of decks. I don't really need them. But this one I did. And sure enough, guess which angel was connected to the crystal, to Sujolite on the card? Archangel Michael, who had told me a few days before that I would need Sujolite when I asked, what do I do? And really, it was also a way of saying, make sure to connect with me. But Archangel Michael is very fond of all people. Michael is, it's non-gender specific, but Michael is very fond, especially of women and children in general, and is a justice angel. So especially when it comes to court situations, children, custody, and things like that, Archangel Michael does not tolerate people who seek to cause harm with deception or destruction or anything else. Certainly that's ungodly. And will go hard on their behalf, in their favor, as a result. And does, repeatedly and consistently. There's that. Anything else? I'm gonna wait on this one and that one too. These ones we're done with. Can I get, what do you want us to know, God? Anything about Divine Masculine or for Divine Masculine? About him, you said? Let's just see what fell first. Disguise. Some elements of this relationship are hidden. I haven't told you how I really fully feel yet, he says. Benefit of the doubt. He says, I know I love you, but I haven't told you. Yeah. He's saying something about, like, he feels like it would be weird too without actually having certain things with her in place first, or like having a meeting or like a date or like something like that, although he already feels it. But there's some kind of separation between them. It's like he's wanting to come together with her, material attachment. There's something about money too. He may be working. What is this? What is this? Anything you want us to know? Freedom. He says, I want to take care of you. Friendly support. Yeah, I want to take care of you. Freedom. Taking burdens off of her so that they can spend time together. Look at that. Oh, spicy. He says that, hold on, tell me about this. I think I know what you're telling me, but okay, yeah, that's right. He's like, I don't, basically he feels like they're in some kind of friend zone. And so he's saying, like, I feel like I need to be out of the friend zone before I tell you that I love you, kind of a thing. But sometimes that's how you do it, love. He says there's something about something being in place. He wants to court her. I hear last girlfriend. He says if this is going to be the last time I date somebody, you know, ever, like, of course this is somebody who will never stop dating his wife, right? You constantly evolve with them. You constantly grow with them. You keep spending time together. You keep having adventures. You keep the honeymoon period going. It doesn't have to die. In many situations and relationships, it does. In this true connection like this, it won't. But also because they seek to take it and put the time and love and effort into each other. Fearless love. Yeah. But he says you're worthy. Like, what's hidden is that he does feel like she's worthy. He wants this with her. He says, I'm afraid you'll say no. Is he afraid of rejection? He's afraid that she'll friend zone him? Oh, here, yes, he is. But you see, he's coming up around her shoulder like my grandmother did. 4222. Did I get upset with her? No. Perfect match. Right, and that's why. I have been picking this up. There have been like people trying to distract him or vie for his attention over divine feminine. This could also be some toxic person in his family that either wants his attention or doesn't want him to give it to divine feminine. But this is in reverse. He's not wanting to deal with them or spend time with them. Karmic female is upset about that. Honest communication, twin flame recognition. Yeah, he says, I miss you. Tell me about this other energy though. I'm picking up. There it is. I feel that. He's like, no, I don't want to deal with these people. But there's this karmic energy that's trying to come through and project. Yeah, see, manifesting the one life partner. This is a karmic. I hear the one by Codaline, who may have had a breakup or is having one or something. And she's trying to project that on other people. But this is the thing. You don't manifest love by wishing other people a lack of it. That means you're coming from a place of lack in love. That's not how that works. Yes, it is. Newton's law. Magnetism, rendezvous. Exactly. He says, I want to spend time with divine feminine. Oh, see, he's friend zoning these karmic energies. And it doesn't even have to be friend zoning, like keeping them around. It just means that he's not giving them the time of day, right? Because he's bonding with his divine feminine, his best friend. I told you, I felt like they're each other's best friends. Because this is a true kingdom spouse partnership. Twin flame union, falling in love. Falling like the stars, falling in love. Burning desire. Yeah, here he says, I don't want anybody else. Right. Acts of service is the love language here. Actions speak louder than words. So this is why he's saying, like, I want to show up and spend time with you and have like quality time and efforts in place. I don't just want to say, hey, I love you, because I'm sure you've heard that from people before. I also want to show up and prove it to you. This is why he's saying like he wants to court her. And so basically he was saying also, if this is going, and he knows it is, since this is going to be my last relationship, the last time I date somebody for the first time, like the last time I have a first kiss, I want to enjoy it and savor it with her. I don't want to miss a moment. I want to share every moment with her, he says. Freedom. They lift each other up, spiritual soul path. He says, you help me see clearly. Something about he doesn't want to push her away. Or like scare her away. Freedom. But they won't. As long as they're honest. Okay, anything else? Divine Feminine. I told you. He's like, well, I know the love's there, but, you know, I want to show up and actually be there. Before he says, I love you. Real feelings, self-love, rekindle. I think he's afraid she's going to friend zone him or something. Hold on, we'll see in a minute. Real feelings, self-love, rekindle. So this is a really true divine connection. It is the self-love that they've been pouring into themselves that allowed them to draw each other forward. And this is reopening what I'm picking up as a past life connection in some cases. Twin flame recognition, forgiveness. It's like a forgiveness of him maybe taking more time than she would have preferred to come communicate, or possibly from a past life. Dreams come true. I just posted a song dance video from a few years ago. It was a dream within a within a dream by Glitch Mob. Anything else? Honest communication. She says, I don't really care about anything else as long as you're honest. And loyalty, of course. You know. Fearless love, healing connection. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, in regards to the past stuff, the past is the past. Like, I'm not really, you know, as long as you're honest and as long as it doesn't happen again or we can heal out these issues, I'm not really concerned about it, she says. 4822. Material attachment. There's something about, he's saying something about money being used as a form of abuse. Also, he says, I won't do that to you, but I see what they did or what they tried to do. Third party, divine timing, disguise, benefit of the doubt, time apart, life partner, yeah. And so the download I just got is that she's giving him the benefit of the doubt that he won't treat her like the others on levels. I feel like they're both kind of taking that leap of faith together because I think they both have been mistreated before. I think that's why he understands her too. Responsibilities, you are worthy, manifesting the one. So they've been taking care of whatever responsibilities they have, like dotting I's, crossing T's on situations, closing out old cycles. Great steps guided to love. Forever young, I do feel like they revitalize each other, like I said. Falling in love, best friends, and bonding. I think we're good. They're paralleling here. So they're on the same page. He says, I'm not afraid to love again if it's you. He says, I know you won't hurt me and I won't hurt you either. Well then. Signs and clues. So they're getting messages, possibly music even from the universe. And then also quality language is time spent together, and then physical touch. So we have been picking that up, haven't we? Indeed. This is about also love language, affirmation. It's what's bringing this union together. So there's communication. Holiday. He says, I won't, basically he won't leave her hanging. Holiday. Spending time together. I think we're good now. Those last couple I just pulled were for both of them. I'm feeling one more. We'll give it one more shuffle. They're not going to be able to keep away from each other. And nor should they. This is a divinely blessed connection. Look at the little fairy godmother drawing. My grandmother came up over my shoulder. Grandma! Blessed connection. Ancestrally protected. She was more of a grandma. She was so cute. I love her. She says, what do you mean I'm still cute? You are still cute. I told you. Don't you past tense me. Oh, that's cute. Still cute. I love you. She says, thanks for keeping my perfume in the window. Of course. Told you I'd do that before you died. I meant what I said. I keep my promises. Pinky promises are serious. You can't break that shit. I think I'm going to drop the mic right there for now. Please remember to pray. Do no harm, take no crap, and I'll catch you on the next one. Blessings and namaste.